2024 Toyota Hilux-GR-Sport vs 2024 Ford-Ranger-Raptor comparison details. Size comparo: how big is the 2024 Toyota Hilux-GR-S versus the Ford-Ranger-Raptor? Has the Raptor found its match? When Toyota Motor Philippines first introduced the Hilux-GR-S back in 2021, it really was more of a cosmetic package with a few GR bits. But for 2024, Toyota has transformed the Hilux-GR-S into something worthy of the Gazoo Racing badge. For this comparison, we'll pit the new and improved Hilux-GR-S against its closest rival, the Ranger-Raptor. Let the battle begin. The 2024 Hilux-GR-S measures 5,320 mm long, 2,020 mm wide, and 1,880 mm tall. This makes it 61 mm shorter, 8 mm narrower, and 42 mm lower than the Ranger-Raptor. The Toyota pickup rides on a 3,085 mm wheelbase, which is 185 mm less between the axles than its Ford rival. While both pickups come standard with 17-inch alloy wheels, the Hilux-GR-S is shod with two 65R17 tires that have a diameter of 30.56 inches. The Ranger-Raptor on the other hand rolls on two 85/70R17 tires that have a diameter of 32.71 inches. The Ford pickup rolls on rubber taller by 2.15 inches. What about the ground clearance for the two pickups? These figures are not stated in the local spec sheets, so we'll be using figures from similar overseas models. The Hilux-GR-S has a 247 mm ground clearance, which makes it 25 mm less than the Ranger-Raptor. Fun fact: the Hilux-GR-S with the shark fin antenna, like the PH spec variant, is 50 mm taller than the ones with the B-Sting antenna. Here's a little refresher on the Hilux-GR-S and Ranger-Raptor. The 2024 Hilux-GR-S is now powered by a 2.8-liter turbo diesel mill, which pumps out 221 horsepower and 550 Nm of torque. The Ranger-Raptor is powered by a 2.0-liter bi-turbo diesel unit which puts out 207 horsepower and 500 Nm of torque. The Toyota comes with a 6-speed automatic transmission, its Ford rival gets a 10-speed auto. Both pickups feature wide tracks and upgraded suspension. The Hilux-GR-S comes with monotube shock absorbers all around and retains the rear leaf springs. The Ranger-Raptor on the other hand is equipped with 2.5-inch Fox shocks on all corners and features a coilover rigid axle rear suspension with a Watts linkage. The new Hilux-GR-S draws inspiration from the GR Hilux Dakar rally truck, while the Ranger-Raptor gets its inspiration from Barger race trucks. It's interesting to note that a mildly modified gasoline variant of the Ranger-Raptor completed the Barger 1000 in late 2022. Has Toyota finally created the ultimate Raptor beater? Let us know what you think in the comments. Toyota GR Hilux vs Ford Ranger-Raptor battle intensifies in 2024. Toyota has recently launched the first Hilux-GR Sport in Australia. This version of the popular truck comes with performance upgrades that enhance its invincibility. However, it falls short of being a direct competitor to the Ford Ranger-Raptor. But fear not, as Toyota has another version of the Hilux in the works. According to Sean Hanley, Toyota Australia's Vice President of Sales, there is a mild hybrid Hilux set to be released next year. Additionally, Hanley hinted at another surprise version that has yet to be revealed. In an interview with Car Expert, Hanley stated, "The arrival of the 48-volt battery will be the third major update for Hilux since October last year. And we have at least one more Hilux surprise in store for next year." With Toyota's Hilux-GR Sport now revealed at last, how will it compare to Ford's Apex Ranger-Raptor? Toyota has at long last announced it will be bringing a new flagship off-road ute to market, the Hilux-GR Sport. The new Hilux-GR Sport, a variant due to launch in Australia during the second half of 2023, is the most powerful diesel Hilux ever built, but how will it stack up against its biggest competitor, the Ford Ranger-Raptor? Chasing Cars sat down to work out all the similarities and differences between the two competitors to see how they compare on the spec sheet. Drivetrains compared. Toyota has announced that its flagship Hilux-GR Sport will be fitted with the most powerful diesel engine ever used in a Hilux. Outputs for the 2.8-liter four-cylinder engine have lifted from 150 kilowatts per 500 Nm to 165 kilowatts per 550 Nm thanks to revised turbocharging and fuel injection. It's certainly not the turbo diesel V6 engine we were hoping for, however Toyota has said it has retuned the transmission to be sportier and now features paddle shifters. The Ford-Ranger-Raptor, on the other hand, features a 3.0-liter twin-turbocharged petrol V6 engine that produces far higher outputs, 292 kilowatts per 583 Nm, and is paired to a 10-speed automatic transmission. The Ranger-Raptor comes standard with multiple drive modes, along with 4 selectable exhaust modes, ranging from neighbor-friendly right up to raucous barger mode. Standard off-road equipment. The freshly announced Toyota Hilux-GR-Sport has been inspired by the off-road Dakar race and adopts wider tracks than before, now 140 mm wider at the front and 155 mm at the rear. Dedicated monotube shock absorbers, stiffer coil springs, and both increased approach angle and higher ground clearance feature, along with redesigned wishbones and a reinforced rear axle. Also included on the new GR Sport are 17-inch alloy wheels, all-terrain tires, a skid plate, rock sliders, and rear recovery points. The Ford-Ranger-Raptor has electronically controlled front and rear differentials, 2.5-inch Ford Performance Fox shocks, adjustable dampers, and standard 17-inch alloy wheels. Beadlock-capable wheels are optional. The Raptor is able to wade in water up to 850 mm without a snorkel. Much like the Toyota GR Sport, the Ranger-Raptor features unique reinforced suspension mounts, as well as unique frames for the jounce bumper, shock tower, and rear shock brackets. What about the interior of both cars? The inside of the Hilux GR Sport has been pretty much blacked out, however this is contrasted by bright red seatbelts and alloy sports pedals. There is plenty of GR branding, too, including on the steering wheel and headrests. Toyota hasn't gone into extensive detail about the rest of the interior just yet, however it looks like the central touchscreen and instrument cluster are much the same as a Hilux Rogue. We know much more about what is inside the Ford Ranger-Raptor, a space that has features including a 12-inch portrait touchscreen, a 12.4-inch digital instrument cluster, and Ford Performance seats front and rear. Other niceties include a 360-degree camera, wireless charging pad, and wireless Apple CarPlay and wired Android Auto. On the exterior, both the Toyota Hilux GR Sport and Ford Ranger-Raptor have unique brand lettering in their grilles to help differentiate the variants from the rest of the range. Vehicle dimensions. The Toyota Hilux GR Sport measures in at 5,320 mm long, 2,020 mm wide, and 1,880 mm tall, with a wheelbase of 3,085 mm. This means that the new flagship Hilux is only 10 mm taller than a Hilux Rogue and is identical in length and width. Both the GR Sport and Rogue share identical wheelbase lengths, too. The Ford Ranger-Raptor, to compare, measures in at 5,381 mm long, 1,922 mm wide, and 1,955 mm tall, with a wheelbase measuring 3,270 mm. The Raptor is therefore taller and longer than the Hilux GR Sport, but not wider. While the weight of the Toyota Hilux GR Sport has not yet been released, the big Ford Ranger-Raptor weighs in at 2,475 kilograms. Price. Toyota hasn't told Australian media what sort of price the new Hilux GR Sport will sit at, however if the $70,200 Rogue is anything to go by, this new GR Sport could run into the $80,000 price bracket. The Ford Ranger-Raptor is currently priced from $85,490 before on-road costs, making it one of the most expensive dual-cab utes on the Australian new car market.